everything been going?
I'm doing great. I'm just actually waking up. I work a night job and just waking up, having my coffee.
Excellent stuff. Where are you located anyways?
I'm on Vancouver Island
Okay, so
in
that's
Nanaimo.
quite good. Vancouver Island. Now, how's the metal scene down there?
Uh, Not bad. It kind of it's a fluctuating scene over the years. For the size of the population and stuff, it's pretty good.
Excellent. Metaspherical. Now, this is an interesting project I've been presented. This is very big. With all the members you've acquired. For this project. Where did this whole idea come from?
Well, it was something that kind of took on its own destiny. Really, it wasn't planned that I sat down and said, "Oh, I'm going to make a global metal project." I was a few years after my brain injury, after I was in good shape for playing, and that I just kind of decided I'd really like to give playing metal a go. And just being, like I said, I live in a really small city on Vancouver Island. I couldn't find the kind of musicians to play the music that I was envisioning. So it was a bit of a shot in the dark, but I thought, why don't I ask my friend Gene Hoglan, who I've known through the Vancouver metal scene since I was a teenager when he was living out here, playing with Devin Townsend and Strappy Young Lad, if he'd just have a bit of time to record a track or two with me. And Gene was really, really busy then, but managed to squeeze it in. We laid down some mind-blowing drum tracks, and from there, sat with that for a while, and through social media came in contact with a couple of the members from the band Atheists. We agreed to meet up later that summer at a festival in Edmonton, and a really nice friendship blossomed between us. And sometime after that, I actually flew down to Sarasota, Florida, and spent some time with Kelly Schaefer. We wrote some music, went into the studio and recorded it. And yeah, I was just sort of talking about the first single that we were promoting, Cloth of Atu, and that was the first formation of it. I met the bass player, Travis, when I was down in Sarasota, and we formed a great relationship, started working correspondently with me on Vancouver Island and him out in New York, and we got that part, and then we had the song it just had a missing piece. It really needed a great guest lead, and I stumbled across an ad on Facebook from Andy LaRoque from King Diamond for his studio, Sonic Train Studios in Sweden, and he was trying to drum up a bit of work, get some bands and stuff, and again, kind of being a shot in the dark, I thought, why don't I ask him? And from that, we've developed a great friendship, and it sort of has come into what it has. And a lot of the other musicians that have got involved, it was just sort of chance meetings at times and places. It was not really something that could have been planned, it sort of grew into and amalgamated into what it is now, just over time. I got realizing, wow, this is really neat and cool. It's like I somehow managed to bring together players from different ethnic backgrounds and different subgenre categories of metal.
I mean, you got a really distinct sound too, and I mean, it's got the death, cynic, old Florida sound. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
No, it certainly is, and I mean, Gene Hoglan, fantastic drummer, a nice guy as well.
Absolutely.
And your promo video surely delivers the goods. I gotta say that.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. It was really cool how that video came together, and actually everyone was just kind enough to film their parts when they were in the studio on their iPhones. And then it was just edited together. So that was actually just shot on iPhones in different parts of Canada, the States, and Sweden, and then we just compiled it together. So I mean, I don't really, it's not really like I don't consider it a music video, but it's a very promo video, if you will, kind of.
Oh well, that's the way you got to do it today.
Concept.
Yeah. I mean, if you can imagine how much it would have cost back in the day to do such a video like that with all those people, it would have been very expensive.
Absolutely.
So the age of social media sure helps for that stuff to spread videos and stuff.
It does, yeah, and I just the way that we can be in communication with each other and sort of make things happen so quickly. I mean, I agree 100%. 10 years ago, you'd have been sending videos around in the mail and working with all sorts of different editors, but it's the process of the internet and social media has really broken that down.
Interesting biography you have also, with the head injury. I mean, that should be a struggle in itself, to play the way you play, which is, supreme levels, and, it should be tough, to get back to that level, would you say, throughout the years?
Well, it was, yeah, it was a real struggle, for quite a few years just after the head injury. A lot of just everyday simple mental tasks were a real process, and it took a few years of mental clawing and scratching to physically build up endurance in my hands to do the playing. And just I was talking about this with someone else yesterday too. It was kind of strange. It's like the theoretical knowledge of the guitar still seemed to be in my head, but it's like there was a neurological, like a missing link between the head and the hands of like, do this, I can't do this kind of thing. It just, I don't know where it went. I mean, part of it was like the physical strength going, but my hands just somehow didn't want to perform what the brain was telling it to do. It's kind of hard to sum up, it's sort of a self-objective thing.
It's gonna be really tough to be imprisoned like that, as a guitarist. That
Mm-hmm.
you know you're able to do it, but you can't.
Yeah.
And for all this, you produced this product yourself, from what I've read.
Yeah, I'm the producer behind this. I work with some incredible people. I've working with the engineer from Vancouver, Rob Shallcross, who worked on some of the strapping records, does a lot of stuff with Gene Hoglan. He's just done such amazing magic work with with the audio mixing and mastering, because you got to imagine just sending lines from all different parts of the world and compiling it together. That that was, I mean, sure, I take credit for writing and arranging, but having someone able to put it together in such a professional manner, it's been so great. But yeah, I was the producer, but I mean, like, the piece, that first song and every other song that's coming together and will be coming out, it's really been amazing how every player has really brought a piece of themselves to the table, but also just influentially said, hey, why don't we try this in halftime, or I'm thinking this, and it was I mean, yes, I wrote the tunes, but essentially it was really a collective coming together that made them so great.
So Jason, let's say, how long has this project been going on for?
It's been in the works for about 5 years. I mean, like, you got to understand. It would have come together so much faster, but being with the small minutiae of all the struggles I've had with my head injury, and then it's kind of been a money struggle in itself coming to bring it together. But I've had to support myself at my day job and deal with so many other things. But it's it's such a blessing that it's come together and it is where it is now. I feel really great that we're getting some tracks out there and kind of testing the waters, seeing what people think of it. Me and the team of a few other people I've been working with, we've been sort of toying with the idea of the way of getting this out to the public, and we've been considering crowdfunding options, which has been quite a common thing in the music industry in the last couple of years. Bands using mediums like Kickstarter and Indiegogo and stuff like that. But we thought that's not a very good way to go about it. I'm an unknown person, and it would be better to sort of test the waters and make a gauge to see if what the interest level is, and kind of take it from there.
What do you think of social media yourself? Is it growing as you would expect? The numbers.
It's coming up, sort of starting our getting out there to the people. It's growing nice. The has just been really overwhelming to me personally.
And this, when will the project be all, finished? That the CD is gonna come out, the whole product.
At this point, I don't have a definite date. We would potentially like to have a physical copy out to the public sometime mid-spring. I think would be a good time.
And Jason,
Lots of,
do you foresee like a vinyl record being produced out of this?
absolutely, I do. It's going to be a slow process. We're gonna get a few more tracks out there, and we would a lot of things are in the talks. Are in talks right now, and kind of in the hearsay because we haven't confirmed anything. But we'd like to potentially take this on the road in some respect. I mean, obviously, you're not going to pull together 25 musicians to come together to do small parts, but me assemble a cast of players to do it. And I've talked with a lot of the musicians, and this thing has just been like almost like a brotherhood to me, really.
Mm-hmm.
The musicians helping musicians, and a lot of these great players are just like, well, hey man, yeah, if you're coming through our town, give me a call, come up, play a song and stuff like that. So some live situation, it could be very interesting. A lot of neat collaborations, improvisations and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm really excited.
And for certain cities have all-star lineups, from these legends showing up,
Mm-hmm.
which is great.
Yeah.
And certainly make a Canadian tour and travel from Vancouver to Nova Scotia. That'd be awesome for the Canadians.
I would love to, absolutely.
Well, I would love to support that. And well, Jason, Morley, your product is very good, and look forward to seeing more promo videos in the future. Clot of Art to very good video.
Awesome, thanks.
Well, keep up the good work, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. You have a great day, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. See you.
Okay. Bye-bye.